the Samvad series, which has started again for you. And true to the tradition of Reach, we are focusing on the matters which matter the most. And right now, it's the council elections in England. Especially, we've been able to bring a lot of candidates today from the Conservative Party who are going to join us. But before anything, let me welcome my dear friend, our host of the show, Arif Azakia ji, जिनके बगैर ये शो हो नहीं सकता. Dhanyavad. And also a privilege to welcome Mr. Hridesh Gupta ji, who has been very upfront in the local politics of London and UK, and is a very big supporter for Reach and our causes, and part of our Reach Parivar. We have Mr. Jignesh Patel and Sonia Maya Diwan, who have joined us as our councillor candidates. Arif ji, we can start the show.
अजीज दोस्तों, अस्सलाम वालेकुम, नमस्ते, सत श्री अकाल, जय जिनेंद्र, good afternoon. Aziz doston, I moved to London in 2012 from Belgium, and when I came to London, it was a wonderful city. It is wonderful city even today, but because of the change of mayor from Boris Johnson to Sadiq Khan, things have changed. I used to live in East London, and the crime rate shoot up there very much. And London today is facing so many problems. And now this elections, upcoming elections of 5 May 2022, we have some wonderful candidates who have come up with their plan to bring a change in their areas, because it's not a political drive. It is about problems of common people. It is about problem of localities, and we will go to these candidates to see what they want to bring change and how they want to bring change, what are the problems in their localities. So first of all, I will go to Hridesh Gupta ji, who is busy with many candidates, and he is running a campaign for conservative candidates for these elections to bring a change in London. Hridesh ji, up to you.
Thank you, Arif bhai. Thank you so much. Reach is always talk about India and Indians and the people in the Indian diaspora in UK especially, right? And we talk about we are seeing the politics in UK quite long time, and we can see though Indian population is very less in UK, but the contribution from Indian origin people in UK economy is quite high, right? And we have seen that local election, especially if you talk about the national election, we have a conservative government, and government is doing quite well. And in 2019, they won the election quite massive support. But if you look at the local election, the local is prominently dominated by Labour Party, and they are sitting everywhere. But what they are bringing to the table, that is really is very causing. In my constituency, my council it got bankrupt, right? Because of right.
Uh,
Can you put on the mute, please?
yeah, somebody has to go on mute. I think your video is causing a feedback. We'll go to each of the candidates one by one. So let Mr. Hridesh Gupta speak, and then we'll go to other people.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
the councils are getting bankrupted, and the local taxes are getting increased, and that's why we want to bring this change in the local politics, the local communities, that the people who is really serving to the community, doing lots of charity work, lots of good work across without any position, without anything, by self-sufficient. And we want to see those people to come into the council and serve to the community, bring the change in the local politics. And we have a wonderful candidate. I am very much impressed with a few of them, and that's I thought let them give a platform to express themselves, what brave change they want to bring in their area, especially in the ward. So over to you, Arif bhai, and I'm just helping to all our colleagues. That's all.
You're doing a wonderful job, Hridesh ji, and thank you for supporting all the candidates and running a wonderful campaign for them. Thank you so much.
Agree.
Uh, um, let's go to our first candidate, Sonia Maya Dhiman. Sonia ji, I want to start with you. First of all, let us know who you are and why are you standing as a councillor?
Namaste, good afternoon. So I'm Sonia Maidman, and I'm a financial analyst by profession. I'm also a yoga teacher, and I am a mother of three, a family person. And yeah, I do a lot of community work. I do a lot of seva for the community. I do a lot of distribution of meals, as well as helping the local community just generally with any issues they've got. I've worked alongside the police and various other agencies to help with crime victims, predominantly victims of grooming gang crime, but as well as that, other types of crime as well. So from many years, I've always been engaged and I've always been very close to the community. And I believe in the community and I believe in helping people. So as a result of that, I felt it was only apt to then stand as a councillor so that all the help I'm actually currently doing, I would have more grounding and more standing to be able to push that forward a lot quicker and a lot more efficiently.
Ji. And next go to Jignesh Patel ji. Please introduce yourself and let us know आप इस elections के लिए क्यों खड़े हुए.
Namaskar and good afternoon. Again, first of all, thank you, Reach Foundation. Thank you, Arif ji. As long as I know, Ridesh bhai, Reach, and everybody is so supportive for the candidate like me who is very new. Honestly, I was never a politician and I don't want to be a politician. I am in the politics because I know without being in the politics, you can't make change. So many things goes wrong in the local council. Mayaji has told so many things. In my local area, I am standing because I am a local guy. I live in Hounslow East. I believe in Hounslow East and I know what is the problems and I want to fix it. There is so many things I can talk about, but until I win and until we work hard to win, it all talks. So I am believe in the act and I'm acting against them. I'm very vocal about the policies Labour holding right now, from cleanliness to fly tipping till parking and unplanned development and loads of things. So I'm there to challenge them. Hopefully the support I'm getting from every organization around me, I hope we are going to make it. Thank you very much.
Sure. Next, let's go to Hetal ji, who has joined us. Hetal ji, please introduce yourself and again let us know why you're standing as a councillor, basically.
Hello everyone, myself Hetal.
There is some kind of an audio issue. Can everybody go on mute, please, except Hetal ji?
I think Hetal ji got a two.
Yeah, you have two devices. You're connected by two devices, Hetal ji.
Yeah, now one is gone.
That's the reason.
That's the reason. Okay. Please continue, Hetal ji. Welcome to the Reach Show. Yes.
I can't hear anyone.
Yeah, you can.
Can you hear now? Okay.
I hope everyone can hear me, but I am unable to hear anyone.
Okay. Hetal ji, we can hear you. Please continue.
Too. I am accountant by profession and I'm owning the construction company and I'm an entrepreneur who lives in the local area since long, doing lots of community works with the spiritual organizations and the temples and the different the basic neighborhood apps as well. So this has been going since long, and we know the area, as Jignesh Bhai says, it's like overcrowding, it's everything, is crime has been increased, the roads and the traffic, it's going to be like, so we are the one who are living in the area. And I believe that no matter whatever the platform, but we have to stand for our community. So I am here for that, to stand for the community because Hounslow matters to me. So yes, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And let's now go to Mukesh Rao ji, who is from Sutton area. Mukesh ji, please introduce yourself and tell about why you're standing as a councillor.
Namaste, everyone. Thank you for having me, firstly, on this channel, as well as to all the people watching and my co-candidates who are here. Sorry, my throat is a bit sore, and I'm, as I said, I was canvassing, so just sitting in the car at the moment. So, A bit about myself. I'm into IT during the day, and during my evening hours, when is what I do. I do this. Now, why I decided to was a very simple reason. Is when there is a problem. Let me ask this question to everybody. When there is a problem, what is that we generally tend to do? Somebody needs to pick it up and get to a stage where it gets resolved. So that is what probably what I can listen from all the rest of them is the same thing. So that's what they are doing, and that's what even I'm doing. That's one. And the other reason is just a passion. As being a Hindu, as many of you, all of you are as well, during my younger years, during my younger years, I read Seva hi Parmo Dharma, which means seva is the utmost service. And that's what I'm trying to do the service to the people. Thank you.
Thank you, Mukesh ji. Thank you. And now we can, go into kind of a format where we can ask you what kind of differences are you planning to make over the course of the years when you would be in this position if you are elected, and we really hope you are. So can we start with Sonia Maya ji? Maya ji, what are the two most prominent things you think you would be focusing on once you get elected, and where do you see the problem areas are in your area, Heston East, right?
Okay, so from looking at the area and researching the area, and also from engaging with all the residents, because I've been going around knocking on doors tirelessly for the last few weeks, for about a month now. And the feedback I'm getting and what I'm seeing as well is there's a huge issue with fly tipping, which are things that are resolvable. These things are not things that can't be resolved. They can be resolved and should have been resolved, but haven't been. So fly tipping will be something on the shorter term that should be resolved quite quickly, and we should have instant access to cameras or to the council where they remove it rather than it gets delayed and stays around. Crime, people are feeling although the statistics are showing the crime rates are not so high, but the intimidation factor for myself as a woman as well, and other residents that I'm speaking to, the way that they feel so intimidated because of youth standing around or the vibrations they're getting from the area. So that needs to be addressed, and that can be addressed with street lighting. It could be addressed with more visibility of police. There's so many ways that we can actually resolve these things. And there are issues which I feel that should have been resolved already and shouldn't be there in the first place. But these are the things that I would, on a short term, be able to hopefully push ahead, as well as things with the tower blocks. There's too many tower blocks going up. And one of the questions I had was the people that need to be resident in those tower blocks, where are they at the moment? So the feedback I've been given is that those residents that are going to go into the tower blocks are actually outside of the area living somewhere else. But then when we have an influx of people to fill the tower blocks, we're going to have overpopulated schools, the medical systems, and there's already parking issues in the area, which all these issues will stem from the influx of more residents that have to go in these proposed tower blocks. So there's huge issues. Also, I've had feedback from residents about things like the litter bins for the dog litter. There's parks everywhere, not enough dog litter bins. So the dog litter, that dog poo, is actually just being placed on the pavements or just being left. For me, these issues are things that should have not even be there in the first place. They should have already been addressed. But all of these things would be priority for me. Listening, engaging with the community, constantly being there with the community, being accessible, being a listener, and being somebody that they can actually be the voice. I want to be the voice for the community and actually address their issues.
Sure. Arif ji, anything you want to add to this, basically? Arif ji, can you hear me?
Yes. Abhiji, there is a person who is asking a question about what we can do about politics. Uh, Let me be clear that this is a councillor's election. This is not MP election. In MP elections, there are politics, and these councillors are irrespective. They are here to serve people irrespective of their caste, creed, culture, religion, ethnicity, gender, and they want to provide facilities at your doorstep to everyone, and they are not here for some group of people or belonging to any ethnicity or any religion. So be careful that this is not MP election, this is councillors election, and it is about local day to day affairs. Now I would ask Jignesh bhai that London is one of the greatest city of the world. Since last 500 years we hear that London has been a great city. um, there are so many issues people of London are facing, especially I would talk about your locality. Uh, what do you think are the main issues, and where you can bring a change from the other councillors who are already there than you?
Arif bhai and everybody. Uh, yeah, there are so many issues, and I'm the one person of the big chain. What I'm trying to figure it out, what I can do. If you ask me what the major two change I want to bring into my locality, the first one is parking issue. The development going on crazy everywhere. The blocks bringing up those blocks. If you see into there, I go and don't knock there. It looks like shoebox. There is no environment there. I don't know how they live there and how this council allowing this kind of development going on. And what they create is creating every kind of socio-economic problems in the society. So our party's manifest is one of them is the quality development. And second thing, what I want from government, or if I'm selected or elected in there, and I'm going to elected, that accountable government, accountable local government. I ask every single door knock. When I'm knocking the door, I ask them, when you see your councillor last? 90% people say they didn't see anybody. So in my ward, there says that anybody stand from the labor, it will win without any doubt of shadow. So, and then what will happen because of that thing there? The local government is not that accountable, not that listening council. So what I want to bring it is listening council, and I would be, because I'm local, because I am in the heart of the councillor East, I would able to do that. That is what I'm looking at.
And Jignesh ji, if I'm not wrong, your daughter is standing with you. Tell us about that experience. Bringing youth into politics is a very good sign, and I really appreciate your effort to do that.
Yes, Abhiji, my daughter, she's a 22-year young lady with law background. She's a law graduate, banking and finance law. She's working as a law consultant. She is very much into the policy kind of thing. So she knows politics in and out because of her study, and she's very enthusiastic, very much into the detail. So she got a good attention into detail, and yeah, she is standing. Her name is Jaisal Patel. And not only her, we got a youngest candidate in the UK's history, Mr. Yash Patel, standing from the Alperton, which is another. So probably we will have him on the show.
We will have him.
But yeah, there are so many young people standing, which is good. And the reason I'm so much happy, because if you see the average age of the councillor standing is more than 50, and these people are coming there and to change it. So that is good.
That's the, and I think this answers the question, Arif bhai, the person who asked on our show, that why Tory party. Tory party, obviously, despite the histrionics and the other things from the past, has managed to create a reputation that they are evolving. They are ready to listen to all the different ethnicities of this country. They are working towards making a cosmopolitan Britain, and an inclusive Britain. And that's what Mr. Boris Johnson's message is also all about. And the fact that we are given chance to some young councillors shows the direction the party is taking, and that's a very positive sign. On the other hand, we have the other parties who are not probably doing enough in this regard. So I really appreciate the Tory party to give this kind of a direction to all these candidates. And all these candidates we are seeing here, guys, are here because of their merit. They're not here because they are Indian origin or anything. All of them have done enough social work or community work in their local constituencies to get the confidence from the party to be chosen for the candidates. So let's move on. Let's move to Mukesh Bhai. Mukesh Bhai, what are the two things you think Sutton needs, especially your area, Sutton West, basically, for which you would be working for? Yeah.
So every ward has its different needs, and pretty much some of the candidates who are listening to, they are from the northern London to the South London, Southwest London, which changes quite a bit. Okay, so Sutton West, there are, if you are talking about, again, it comes to, it might be echoing what the others have said, which is listening and understanding those short-term goals. Now, again, we are talking, we go, what I mean by that is ask your residents that what is the problem, what is that they are looking at that their key problems are. Yeah, so you will gonna come when we do that, it comes across to the same thing. Some of them which you have already mentioned, which is the low traffic neighborhood scheme implementation. We don't have at the moment as many tar blocks as currently, but probably the current way it is going, maybe. And for those for the benefits of others who are here on the call and listening, we are run by liberal Democrats, and they have been there for almost about 36 years, unlike many others which are run by Labour. So again, so that's where it is. When you go back to your residents, you ask them, you're going to come to know what these things are. And again, as Sonia ji already mentioned, that some of them will be short term, some of them are long term. So we really need to identify those and then collaboratively work on a solution. So that will be the approach that we'll be taking in Sutton West as well.
Sure.
I would like to take a question. First of all, this Happiness Lab 360 has given a message that's a great and much needed start. Kudos to great teamwork, Mayaji, Jigneshji, Hirdeshji, and Arif Saab, Vashisht. My question is to Hetal, because I also live in Hounslow and she is from Hounslow. Hetalji, Hounslow Center is a hub of business, and the business people have different issues. How do you tackle these issues, and how would you bring change in Hounslow Center?
Thank you, Arif ji. Yes, the issues with local businesses, even the local restaurants doesn't have enough space of the parking. So the parking is the major issue because of the overcrowding. Yes, we do have the shopping mall and stuff, and that is there, but still there is no decent place to be. There is no decent, regathering things. There is no decent any kind of hall which we can, organize anything. So because of these all things, we are facing these issues that the business is are not really happy to be as a local business. What I mean when I'm saying the business is, yes, the mall is there, shops are there, the chains are there, they are the different way, but the local businesses doesn't have a place to implement and expand themselves. So that is the major issue, as well as the residents are facing the similar issues. There is no recreation centers. They have just the few parks which is actually not using well enough because of the crime and the drugs problem. So technically, if you don't have a happy residents coming around the area, obviously the business is not going to grow. It will go in a chain, yes, because of the overpopulated places, and obviously they have so many buildings which is built up, and it's really high-rise buildings are going on, and they are making lots and lots of offices. But where they're going to park, that is another issue, because they're going to park it near the residents parking, and the residents are finding difficult for their parking. So the businesses are putting off themselves to coming forward into the area to develop themselves as a corporate or offices. So yes, apart from the a few centers, there is a very difficulties to develop the businesses. We have to look into that things if you want to promote the area as a happy residency place, you know.
Another question, if any candidate or every candidate can reply, which is a hot issue globally and in every locality, is climate and green zones. How do you want to bring a change in on this aspect, that there are lesser and lesser green spaces now because of building of apartment blocks and all these things? So first I would ask Sonia ji, that what are your plans to bring more green zones and bring climate change in your area?
I think with energy, I think solar panels is a good idea for going green. So solar panels are the way forward because we can save a lot of energy that way. And where we've got privatized companies doing that, that needs to be more government initiative. It needs to be more government funded because it is also something which is reinvested in the communities. So where it's privatized and a lot of people can't afford it, we need to look at those being government funded things. Also, the green space that I mentioned earlier, where we're having a lot more tower blocks going up, I'm saying we should look at more sustainable housing, which looks more like 3-bedroom semi-detached houses with gardens at the front. So again, having the gardens, not concreted gardens, but green gardens, that gives community feel, less crime, less issues of drugs or theft, and it also gives more of a community feel where we're also having the green areas and not taking away these recreation grounds, not taking away the green space we have. We've had a few residents point out to me where there were supposed to be green areas and restricted building areas, they've now been concreted over. So these are things that the government needs to look at, the local councils need to look at. And if we have where we have like 3 candidates standing, we need all 3 candidates to be nominated to be able to implement change, because it goes to a unanimous decision. So any decisions taken need to be unanimous. So we have to have all 3 candidates where people get 3 votes, not a 2-1 or a 1-2.
So who are
Abhi ji?
Ji, I would like to ask you about the when we are talking about the green spaces and the community work which we needed. What can we do more for our children to be utilized by these facilities? Because council creates a lot of facilities, but sometimes the word of mouth is not enough to spread it to the families, the people who need it the most. What kind of communication modes you guys would be trying to utilize now when you get elected to make this happen, so that more children can utilize these facilities and other things, basically? Let's go to Hetal ji, for example. Yeah.
Hello. Yes, we need the park to be safe. There are few parks. Yes, we can have more parks, but right now, looking into the scenario which we are in, we should have a parks which is safe for the kids, and it should be more clean, more wider, and organized. Well, right now, you hardly can see the gate of the park. That is the scenario. So yes, we need the parks to be developed more as they are. As we know, especially in a Hounslow area, there are cinemas and everything is coming on. So along with that, there should be something which is playstations for the kids, because that is necessary. A good library, which is another things, and obviously community space, which is required a more. Believe me or not, just for the councillor meeting, we are struggling for the community space, because we don't have a big enough. There was only one which is in a Feltham, North Feltham Assembly Hall. But apart from that, there is not the big enough community space. There are smaller, which council is taking back again. So obviously we need more community space where the children can come, they can have at least in-house gathering or something, and that is required more than anything, I guess, because whatever the drugs problem is going on right now, we have to look also.
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
drugs problem
sorry.
in the parks is a big issue. I completely agree to that, and I really hope you guys will find ways to tackle that, because that's become a menace for a lot of communities and families, basically. Um,
I think as well, Abhijit, just to interrupt, sorry, where you were talking about communication, I think a lot of the youth, even as young as 9, 10, a lot of them have mobile phones or on social media with their parents and things like that. So I think a lot, if you were talking about engaging the youth, then a lot of it will be through social media or visiting schools and colleges, and having regular meets with the schools and colleges to organise events so that they know what's available in the area, they know what's happening. They know, where their local parks are or when there's sports activities on there. If it's the older youth, then again, going into colleges, engaging the youth, taking the youth off the street, finding out what the youth want. So I've been out, and when I spoke to residents that are between the age of 18 to 24, so many of these age group, they are eligible to vote, but they don't vote. When I've asked them why, it's because they're not even understanding, they don't see the importance of it, they don't feel that it's worthwhile. But when I've spent just 30 seconds to a couple of minutes with them, they've actually come on board and said, actually, yes, we have got a voting card, but we don't use it. But yes, we do understand now why we should be using it. So engaging the younger youth and the older youth is really important. So finding out what they want. Why do they hang around? Do they want more sports facilities? Do they want, more just interactive conversations? Because a lot of the youth are affected by drugs that don't want to be, but there's peer pressure. There's a lot of other things going on, and they just want someone that will understand them. So I've been able to go out, speak to them, and actually connect with them. And then for the older generation as well, they're feeling a lot left out. So I've got elderly parents. My father's got Alzheimer's, and my mum's a heart patient. My father lives with me, and I care for my mother as well. I've also got 3 children. So I'm very aware of all the different issues that people face, whether they're elderly, they're young, they're working mums, dads, whatever it is. I'm able to make that connection. And having the elderly, they're a lot of them are oblivious to social media and the internet. So again, we need to find ways of engaging them, whether it's through the church, whether it's through age concern, whether it's through the temples, the mosques, wherever it is. We need to look at all the different age groups and be able to engage with them in the relevant manner according to that age group.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sonia ji, for that elaborate plan, and that sounds very engaging and very promising for us. One question to all of you, and I think it's a very important question: that how important is it to have the same party councillors into the council, basically? So can we start with you, Mukesh ji, and if you want to give an answer to that.
Let's put it, there are 2 aspects to it. One is, it's obviously brilliant if you have a council that is run by the same party. But also what is important is like-mindedness. Now, why I say that is because, there are aspects of that when we are standing as councillors, there are certain topics which will unite us irrespective of the party. Yeah. And that is where it needs to be. So it needs to be, my take on this would be, can we have a similar mindset people rather than a party people? And that will gonna help us in driving this in a better way. That's my 2 pence. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mukesh ji. Yeah, Sonia ji, you're raising your hand. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, with the council, when there's any decisions to be made that falls to either the committee or the mayor or wherever it fits within the different committees for the different organisations, where a unanimous decision needs to be made, you have to have a 2/3 majority. So if there's 2 of a different party and 1 of a different that it's more likely to go to the 2/3 option. And if there's 1 and 1, as in Jigneshji's area, there are 2 candidates. If you've got 1 from one and 1 from the other, there'll always be some kind of imbalance, and then it will fall to the committee or fall further down the line or up the line, so to speak, to see where the decision, and there'll always be some sort of conflict. It'll be harder to get a quicker decision made, whereas if you have a unanimous decision, things can be very quick and things can move forward very quick as well. And that includes things with budget for the local council budgets and things like that, where the money will be spent. So I think we have a similar mindset, that all of us will want the money to be invested back into the community and for the community needs. And so for that reason, it's very important that they should be all 3 candidates, 2 candidates, or however many candidates are from one party, they should all be nominated.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And last question from my side to Jigneshji and Hetalji. So, when we talk about politics, we talk about people not very interested. How good would you rate has been the support from the Indian diaspora in England, especially? Have they shown enough for you to, get elected? Or is it like, we don't care kind of an attitude you've seen from them? Just give your experiences. Yeah.
Hetal, do you want to go first?
Hetalji?
Yes. I'll wait. The basic example is UPG and the Reach India. I don't want to go very further, but see what you are supporting is the first example that we are having enough support by the community, by the Indians, and we've been loved by every platform where we have reached and asked for the support, including Swaminarayan Temple or Jalaram Temple, or temple in India or temple in here. So I am really grateful to each and every Indian and each and every member who is here, that they are supporting us and they have never make us feel that, oh, this is not their business. They are helping and we are grateful for that.
That's what we want, don't we, Hetalji? We all should be stepping in to bring in a change. It's not about politics. It's about your life. It's about your streets. So
Indeed.
get onto it and bring. If you want to see a change, be the part of it. That's the simple message.
Abhi, and the other aspect of the same question is the local people. So yeah, we do have a support, and we do have great support from Reach India and Insight and PC and everybody in local temples, local people. The problem with us, or the so-called not so much of interest in the politics from the people who is not going for the vote, who don't want to go for vote, who don't want to register for the vote. Those are the people. We, unfortunately, from our community, we got more of those kind of mindset. Unfortunately, that is the reality, and we can't deny the reality. And we are the first one to complain about the council that this is not happening, the parking is not there, this or not, but we don't go for the vote. That is where we want to get a change. So that's where we come into, and that's where the PC come into, or that's where the Reach come into. Yeah, that's where Arif Bhai coming into that from, I don't know, many days is creating those kind of awareness. I never seen someone who is so much into the public awareness. So as
Arif Bhai is an icon for all of us. He's an icon for all of us, basically. So before we wind up, let's give 1 minute to all the candidates to make a final statement they want to, and like talk about the final things they want to say. Let's go to Mukesh Bhai. Yeah.
I think I will. Thanks for that, and thanks for having me. That's what I'm gonna say to begin with. And I'll borrow your point, Jigneshji, for this. Sorry, I do this to you. Please go vote. That will be my message.
Yeah.
Please vote on 5th May. That's the biggest thing we have to do. Come out of your house. Don't treat it like a holiday. Come out of your house. Just go 5 minutes to your center, press the button, make sure the change you want to see is implemented. Okay, Hetalji.
Yes, and it's the voting booths are the polling stations are open from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Don't
10
forget.
p.m.
Yes,
True.
perfect. 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. No excuses, guys. Sorry. Now to Hetalji.
Yes, and it's not about just go for vote. Go for vote, but obviously spread people awareness about the standing candidates. Because when you've been voting to the one party since long, you have a mindset to see the known name and just tick and come out. So don't do that. Just have a look at the profile of the candidate, go there, see them, and then do the vote. But please go on the 5th of the May and make yourself proud to be a part of the community. Thank you.
Yes. Mayaji?
Yeah. I just want to say to everybody that if you are what I've been hearing from all the residents, if everyone's fed up because it's become very stagnant, very complacent, so don't lose your vote. Go make the vote. Vote. Don't wait for a change. Go and vote for the change. And मैं थोड़ा सा हिंदी में भी बात करना है because हमारे एरिया में बहुत से लोग हैं जो हिंदी, गुजराती, पंजाबी, उर्दू स्पीकर्स हैं. तो सभी को मैं विनती करती हूँ, प्लीज आप जरूर जाना, आपका हक है, आप जरूर 5th of May को वोट डालने जाओ. और आपकी एरिया में हमारा भरोसा, थोड़ा कोशिश करो हमारा पे एक बार मौका दो हमको कि हम भी आपका सेवा करें, हमारा एरिया के लिए हम कुछ अच्छा काम करें.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, over to you, Arif ji.
I think it was a wonderful session. To my candidates, I would give one advice because, as you know, I was a mayor in Pakistan in Jamshed town. Jamshed town, 1.6 million population. I had 183 councillors under me. So my experience I would share for one thing only, which is most important. Whenever I went to my area, any locality, and I asked people, what is the biggest thing you want from us? And they said that we want a confidence that we can contact you in any kind of emergency and time. So to my candidates, I would say that be in touch with your people and always share your coordinations with them so that they can contact you in any kind of problems. We in a house, we can face any kind of local problem which is not a parliament issue, which is not an issue of a member of parliament, but it is connected to the councillor. So the confidence that a common person would have is that he is in touch with the councillor and he has his councillor beside him or her. So this is the advice that I would give to my candidates. And Abhi, over to you to wind up.
Thank you so much. आप सबने अपना time निकाला and you guys came and you know we had a wonderful discussion on your plans and what you want to bring to the communities and how we are planning to bring more and more positive change into our councils. So I'm really grateful to all of you and to everybody who's watching Reach India TV today. Reach Samvad is your platform, as we always say. It's gonna be back and we will be bringing many more shows like this. Until then, Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, Bharat Mata ki Jai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Thank you.